digress a little bit. Now, at the end of the day, in everything that we do, we must understand that we have a voice, and we can use it, and we choose to use it or not use it. When you say things are temporary, whatever it is that we get to enjoy in ENUGU, I think we're more than happy to. The fact that the NBA conference, for me, this is so dear to me. The fact that it's happening in ENUGU is a huge statement that as Nigerians, we will not stand for injustice. We will not stand for anything that is unconstitutional, no matter how much they try to make us believe that that's the way to go. We're talking about Beijing. But in Nigeria, when you meet a lot of women out there on the streets, they're not thinking about Beijing. Every day of their lives, they are being told that they are not important. I'm going to first of all read out something that I wrote. I call it Equality for Dummies. And I think I wrote this a few years ago when the Equality Bill was thrown out at the National Assembly. And I started by saying that my name is Aisha Yesufu, and I happen to be a human being with the reproductive organs of a female, and so I'm called a woman. When I demand for equality, I'm not demanding to change my womanhood to manhood. That would be unfair to me as I am. When I demand for equality, I'm merely asking for equity of treatment. When I demand for equality, I want to be looked upon as a human being with her 5 senses and a brain also, and not as a toy to be toyed with. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying I want to beat up a man. I'm simply saying that I should not be seen as one that can be beaten up and people will get away with it. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that I want to take over a man's job. I'm merely saying that I want to have my own job and not hand out. When I demand for equality, I'm not also saying that I want to take over the pay of a man. I'm simply saying that I deserve fair pay based on what I bring to the table. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that the boy-child bond should be frowned at. I'm just saying that the girl-child bond should be heralded with joy. For us in Nigeria, as a woman, as a girl, the first time, even before you were born, you're disadvantaged. Because we've seen and we've heard and it's been reported many times, too many, of women who were killed just because the child that was in their womb was a girl child. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that the boy child shouldn't be sent to school. I'm just saying that there should be a place in the classroom for the girl child. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that the wife should be above the husband. I'm just saying that the wife should have a place in the partnership. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that husbands have to do the cooking. I'm just saying that whoever wants to cook should be allowed to cook. And the fact that I'm a woman, I wasn't born with pots and frying pan into this world. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that men should be controlled by women. I'm just saying that women have rights. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that men should be disinherited. I'm just saying that women have a right to inherit and be inherited from. When I demand for equality, I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm just saying that you should not be afraid of who I am. At the end of the day, my demand for equality does not take anything away from you. My argument. Because for us here, it's all about those basic things that a lot of people no longer think about. We are glad where I wanted to start from was actually where Professor Joy started from. And I think we should be having another conference. The Beijing conference is 30 years, right? We have a generation of women who today, the things that matter to us, the thing that for us is equality, it's no longer the things that matter to them. So we need to have a conversation and bring them on board and sit down and have a conversation of us asking, what is it today that we need? What is it today that needs to happen? Because there's a huge divide right now between the younger generation of women and the older generation of women. I'm part of the older generation of women. I think I'm over half a century old. So I'm on the other end. The younger generation are saying to us that we are the problem. We are the problem. Because we are sort of like the patriarchy that is keeping them out of the doors. So we need to have that conversation. We need to sit down. That indeed we're looking at Beijing. It served a huge purpose. It led to a lot of things happening. It led to, when you talk about the UK and you read out the numbers and you're talking about 50% participation, are the places where decisions are being made. As a Nigerian, I can't relate. Because as a Nigerian, I tell you, you go through Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria, where political decisions are being made, and sometimes you don't find a single woman at that table. If you find one woman, they've tried. And sometimes I say to them, you're not going to use me to fulfill that righteousness that you have a female on when you're taking pictures, or you have a female at the table. If we're not at a place where decisions are being made, we are powerless. And what we have in this country is the fact that half of the population is said to be women, right? The statistics have shown, you just read out the figures. But when decisions are being made, that half is nowhere. It's almost as if God created one with two legs and you decide to just hobble on one. And then there's always something that goes on. And they say to us that, oh, they've given women opportunities and they failed. Why would they give you again? And there's one example they use for the Nigerians that are here who understand. They always tell me about the Zani. And I'm like, for every one Zani, we have thousands of the Sukis. And if the Suki has not stopped you from holding those positions of responsibility, then it is Zani should not stop me from holding that same position of responsibility. The situation where we have, where women are lumped into one, and then when one does something, then it needs to affect all of us. They put us on a pedestal. They say, oh, we're two women and you're supposed to be good. Oh, I don't want to be. I want the human being. Allow me. Leadership is everything. Politics is where we get the people that are going to govern us. And when you talk in Beijing, they talk about, women in leadership. Where are we in that? At every moment, what we have at best is tokenism. We cannot continue to go on under this tokenism. So first of all, we need to have an intergenerational conversation where we are all meeting and saying, what is it? Where do we go from here? For our generation, there were so many things. Sometimes I'm talking to my daughter, it's as if it's two different words. And she's like, Mommy, are you okay? Because the thing that I'm talking to her about is the thing that I fought for. You fought for, the older generation of people, we fought for, you fought for. But they haven't fought for that. But they have their own things that they're fighting for. So we aim at the trunk of the tree. They are aiming at the skies, at the clouds, and up above. They don't see ceilings. We saw ceilings. We have to force ourselves to shatter those glass ceilings. They don't see ceilings. So we must help them also to not see those ceilings. For them to continue to grow, to be, and understand that indeed they are enough as they are. That indeed, whatever it is that they aspire, that they can get there. So a lot of us, small voices were planted in our heads that said to us we are not enough. That said to us we have to be something. You have to be a mother, a sister. I don't want to be anything. I just want to be human being that has a space in the world. And then I can excel. And I'm given the opportunities to excel. So those are the things, that we have to talk about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so for me, let me just quickly, one issue of it, using my 30 seconds, is to say, I look forward to a National Assembly where at least 50% or more of the members will be members of NBA. We can't be talking about making laws and the people who actually read laws are outside the room. In a lot of countries, you have, it's the legal lawyers that are there. So let's begin to think more about participating in politics, and especially women. If you want to see this issue straight, all these things that you're talking about, it has to come from the National Assembly and the State Houses of Assembly. So the legislative arm of government is very powerful. Unfortunately, we tend to neglect it, and at the end of the day, see where it has taken us to as a country. So let's do more to be in those places. Thank you.